Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of News Where's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are on the rise this morning, with S&P futures up 0.34%, Dow futures up 0.46%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.36%. Markets are advancing this morning after solid economic data and President Biden's federal spending plan spurred a Wall Street rally in cyclical shares. Treasuries have remained steady while the dollar has strengthened. Among data reported yesterday was a drop in the jobless claims to a new pandemic low. Biden is reportedly set to unveil a budget that would take federal spending to $6 trillion in the coming fiscal year. Moving forward, the next key data to watch for will be on personal spending, due out later today. The 10-year U.S. Treasury has remained above 1.6% amid growth optimism and concerns of more debt supply to fund spending. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 index reached a new record, strengthened by expectations that the European Central Bank won't let off of stimulus measures next month. Over in Asia, the yen moved lower as Japan recommended extending a state of emergency that includes Tokyo to curb infections, and China has signaled that the yuan recent appreciation is too rapid with a weaker than expected reference rate. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, I've been watching the S&Ps all morning, and they've been trading. There's no question they are trading higher, but I've been seeing weakness. It's not really able to hold the early morning gains. It's been steadily trended lower. Here's the key. Before the market opened, about an hour before the market opened, there's a key economic report coming out. This is the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. It's also known as the Core Inflation Index. The reason why this is important is, A, it's going to show that inflation is running hot. This is really the Federal Reserve's preferred gauge of measuring inflation. So you really want to watch this, because this is going to really determine, the possible drop in the S&Ps if it happens. The figures are definitely going to be higher, but I'm not sure if it's enough to cause a market reversal due to the fact that the economic data was so positive yesterday. Today is Monday. Today is Friday, and Monday is a holiday. Volumes are going to be light. When volumes are light, you can always see big price swings. A couple things to note. Oil is on watch because there's an OPEC meeting next week. You also have to realize that the Chinese Shanghai market that was down overnight. And the reason why, as you said, the rising yuan. When you're dealing with the rising currency, that leads to a decrease in exports. That's an issue for China. They had to do this because the cost of raw materials was just getting absurd. So raw materials would probably be weak because of their letting the yuan rise higher. I'm concerned about it, but the market is higher this morning. There are some good possibilities for making money, but I'm going to be trading quick and fast today.
Moving into earnings to watch today, it looks like Costco did pretty well. Bill, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, Costco beat by 41 cents, and they did it on higher revenue. So, it was really a boom for Costco. They, people weren't expecting them to, deliver a beat, but the stock is trading off and down about 0.7% this morning. You look at Ulta Beauty, that's ticker ULTA, under Larry Tom Apple. They beat by $2.17 on higher revenue. You remember, I was looking for a $20 move in the stock. Well, right now it's up $15 or 4.61%. CRM was a real good winner. They beat by 33 cents. They did this on higher revenue. I noticed Bank of America came out this morning and they reiterated CRM as one of their top picks with a 285 price target. The other brokers are raising their price targets as well. It's all because they delivered above consensus guidance, following a strong revenue performance in the first quarter. And, their sales just surged by 23% year over year to $5.96 billion. CRM is one of these stocks that, you don't have to think much about it. It is moving higher. Gap stores, we talked about it yesterday, their deal with Walmart, that was very positive. Well, they released earnings last night and they delivered a 53-cent beat and they raised guidance. Dell Technologies, they delivered a 52-cent beat on higher revenue. And Hibbert Sports, that's ticker HIBB, Henry India Boy, they beat by $2.23 and they raised guidance. You look at Hibbard Sports this morning, and the stock's up 5.7%. So yeah, it was a good day for earnings last night.
Give us some insights as far as upcoming earning announcements.
Well, let's see what's happening. I mean, there's nothing happening this afternoon. Everything that's come out that's going to be moving big has come out. But Zoom Video, ticker ZM, Zebra Michael, they're coming out on Tuesday morning because Monday is a holiday. Their expected price movement is 9%. They're releasing Tuesday morning. The EPS is 98 cents. Now, the call put ratio for the monthlies for the June expiration, they were at 1.95 call put ratio. That's positive. AAP, Apple Paul, that's Advanced Auto Parts. They're priced for a 7.5% move when they release Wednesday morning. EPS is looking for $3.08. Now I look at their call put ratio and it's negative. It's 0.28. That's a worrying sign. Lands End, they're reporting Wednesday morning. Expected price move is 17%. EPS is a negative 29 cents here. NTAP, Nancy Tom, Apple Paul. They're releasing Wednesday morning. 7% move is expected. EPS expectations are for $1.12. Call put ratio here was 3.72. That's a nice one. PVH, clothing manufacturer. Expected price move is 8%. Releasing Wednesday morning. EPS is estimated at 83 cents. A 2.09 call put ratio. They really delivered big last quarter, PVH. And Splunk, that's ticker SPLK, Sam Paul Larry Kilo. They're expected to release Wednesday afternoon. 8% move is expected. EPS estimate is a negative 70 cents. Call put ratio yesterday for the monthlies was 0.14, highly negative. I'm thinking that could turn because there might be some excitement going into their earnings, but it's not positive for Splunk from the data that I'm seeing right now.
Let's talk about economic reports. Bill, why don't you tell us what we're seeing there?
8:30. This is the key. This is the key time when you're going to see a real change in the S&Ps. We have international trade in goods and services coming out. We have a report. On retail inventories that's going to be hot. A report on wholesale inventories. This is the advanced report that people will be watching. But the key one is really the core inflation number. This is the personal income and outlays, which is the key number that the Fed really looks at when they're gauging inflation targets. 9:45 a.m., we have the Chicago PMI. At 10 o'clock, the consumer sentiment. This is the University of Michigan number. And at 1 p.m., we have the Baker Hughes rig count number coming out. But that's really what I'm seeing. And, but the 8:30 is really going to be that key time frame where we're going to be able to see if the direction of the S&Ps are going to be able to hold after these economic reports come out.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Boeing, ticker BA. Boeing has ceased deliveries of its 787 Dreamliner jet as it faces renewed scrutiny from the Federal Aviation Administration on its handling of quality control lapses. The FAA has recently sought more information on the company's plans to resolve previously disclosed productions, plunders, and how it aims to improve its safety and manufacturing protocols. Later assessments showed defects in parts that will require extensive maintenance and repairs. The postponement duration remains unclear, but will last until the FAA is satisfied with Boeing's proposals. Boeing will have to perform labor and time-intensive inspections, potentially interrupting the plane's delivery schedule. Boeing's share price is down 1.16% in pre-market. In other news, Google, ticker GOOGL, is reportedly close to setting an antitrust case in France that claimed that Google abused its power in online advertising. France's competition authority accused the company's advertising server of favoring Google's online and ad auction house over other auction operators. Google's share price is up 0.98% in pre-market. News on AMC, ticker AMC. The company has added to recent gains, having climbed 16.52% in pre-market today. Reddit posting is continuing to drive what's making the share price go higher and what has become a 5-day buying frenzy. But the company is also looking at business picking up as it's going into summer reopening and is preparing for several movie premieres. In other news, Johnson & Johnson, ticker J&J, and the FDA are close to announcing that the contamination issues at Emergent Biosolutions plant in Baltimore have been resolved, allowing the resumption of production of J&J's COVID-19 vaccines there. J&J's share price is up 0.63% in pre-market. News on AstraZeneca, ticker AZN. The company has received approval in the European Union for the use of its lung cancer treatment, which in its phase 3 trial reduced the risk of disease reoccurrence or death in patients by 80%. AstraZeneca's share price is down 0.16% in pre-market. News on Tesla, ticker TSLA. The company has received German approval for the construction of its gigafactory in Berlin. Tesla's share price is down 0.37% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, one on Microsoft, ticker MSFT. Microsoft claimed on Thursday that Nobelium, the Russian-based group involved in the SolarWinds cyber attack, has launched a new campaign against government agencies, think tanks, consultants, and non-governmental organizations. In a corporate post, Tom Burt said that the group has attacked about 3,000 email accounts at more than 150 different organizations, mostly in the U.S. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news down into specific sectors and events. It really just helps me gather that information quickly before I really see some price action. I'm looking at my FANG alert, and here's one on Apple that just came out. Apple's planning a revamp of their AirPods, that just came out. Then I'm looking at Facebook. Facebook's going to be resuming political donations through its PAC. Another one on Facebook is it's planning to end posts asserting that COVID-19 was man-made. A couple stories on Tesla. Some state Chinese bodies are reviewing Tesla's ownership among its staff. In addition, Tesla's decision to drop radar sensors from 2 of its vehicles really costed its top safety rating following, an insurance industry group who just downgraded it. You look at Alphabet, Facebook and Twitter, 2 tech trade groups filed a lawsuit against that Florida. This is a new law that would fine social media companies that ban political candidates. That new bit law is really going to come under scrutiny over the next coming months. I'm going over to my Dow Jones 30 alert. Chevron, that's ticker CVX, Charlie Victor X-ray. They're really facing a difficult decision as shareholders are really looking to move the firm to clean energy. This is an oil-dependent firm. This is where they make their money, and you want them to move to clean energy. It's not going to be the same type of revenue, and that dividend that people have with Chevron would be in jeopardy if they go to clean energy. Nike, that's ticker NKE, Nancy Kilo Edward. They're ending their relationship with soccer star, a Brazilian soccer star over some sexual assault probe against a Nike worker. In terms of option headlines, I'm seeing some, moves in implied volatility, as compared to 30-day historical vols. BBIG, Twitter, TWTR, and AMC are just a few names. In terms of events today, Lowe's, ticker LOW, Larry Oscar William. At 10 a.m. today, Lowe's is having their annual shareholders meeting. Also, SWI, that's SolarWinds. They're having their annual shareholders meeting also at 10 a.m. At 11 a.m., DocuSign, that's ticker DOCU, David Oscar Charlie Under. They're going to be having their annual shareholders meeting at 11 a.m. That's going to be one to watch for. Guidance alert, just a couple things to note. Hibbert Sports, ticker HIBB, Henry India Boy, they raised their EPS for next year to $8.50 to $9. This is from the previous estimate of $5 to $5.50, and the consensus estimate was $5.65. So that's a really big move higher for Hibbert Sports, ticker HIBB. Salesforce, they're seeing their Q2 adjusted EPS coming in between 91 and 92 cents. The estimate out there was 85 cents. So that's a big positive for Salesforce. Hewlett Packard, HPQ, Henry, Paul, Quinton, they raised their 2021 EPS view to $3.40 to $3.50. Now, the consensus estimates out there were $3.30. So that's a nice 10 to 20 cents raise. Now, Ulta Beauty, that's ticker ULTA, under Larry Tom Apple, they raised their full year 21 EPS view to $11.50 to $11.95. consensus here is $9.85. That's a big move higher. That's what I'm seeing for guidance today. And those are the stories that are hot today that I'm watching.
Moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Zoom, ticker ZM. It's poised for a 9% move on Tuesday morning before the open. The call put ratio was good yesterday. It was 1.95 for the monthlies. Morgan Stanley came out yesterday and said that they think that they're going to come out with a good Q1 result and good Q2 guidance. So Zoom, they're still doing a lot of business. It's not like people have dropped them off yet. And I think we can still see them really give good results for the upcoming week. So I expect them to do well going into the close today and doing well into the open on Tuesday. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
Well, I'm going with DocuSign. The ticker DOCU, David Oscar Charlie Under. They got a 2.5 call, the 2.5 to 1 call to put ratio in the monthlies. That's positive. They got that shareholders meeting that starts today at 11 a.m. Now, they also have earnings coming out next week on June 3rd. Their earnings are coming out. It's priced for a 7% move. EPS is, for 27 cents. Now, I just feel that there's going to be something positive that comes out of this meeting that's going to attract people to start buying up shares of DocuSign today. I'm looking at the stock today. It's up about 0.5%, so it still has room to run. I really want to get this thing under the $200 range, under that $200 number, but I do think it's going to be able to move higher today. So my pick today is DocuSign, ticker DOCU.
Moving into what's hot off the press, this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that'll be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, Bill, seeing our newswire headlines, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Ticker ETON, Elvis, Tom, Oscar, Mary, Nancy. Eton Pharmaceuticals received a CRL from the FDA. Now, the CRL is a letter that's saying, and there's a response letter saying that they want more research with respect to their a recent PDUFA date that Eton Pharmaceuticals had. So that's a big negative on ticker ETON, Elvis, Tom, Oscar, Nancy.
News on eBank, ticker EBON. eBank says that Bitcoin mining crackdown has no direct or immediate impact on their company.
Just to note, the Eton pharmaceutical story, they just resumed trading and the stock is now down 30%.
Black Knight, ticker BKI, said that it agreed to buy Top of Mind Networks for about $250 million cash.
Here's one on Johnson & Johnson. The one-dose vaccine was just approved by the UK Health Organization.
News that just came in on Tesla, ticker TSLA, says that Tesla has been contacting IC suppliers in Korea, Taiwan, and the U.S. in a bid to secure sustained supplies of car chips, according to media reports in Asia.
And they're willing to prepay for those car chips. That's why they're getting the chips.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing this morning, Shane.
Same here. So that'll do it for what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind, you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newswire.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Thursday. I had Salesforce, ticker CRM, which opened at $229.52, had some up and downs, ultimately closing lower at $225.83 for a 1.6% loss. But really, what we were talking about to make this pick was the value the stock would have coming into the earnings. And into the earnings announcements after the close, meaning you would have had to hold your position, it did very well. It went up to as high as $237.03 for a 3.27% gain. And it's still looking higher, and it's still getting even more upgrades from analysts and just looking really good. So this was a good move for us. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I did Dell Technologies, ticker DELL, David, Edward, Larry. Just like you, it opened up higher, then was, trading a little lower throughout the day. The stock, as soon as those earnings reports came out, this stock jumped. My target price to get in was $99.50, and I was able to actually get in a little lower. But when their earnings came out, that stock just jumped. It jumped up to 103. Now, I was able to get out at 102.50, so that was a good trade. But that anything above 100 when you're buying it at 99 is positive. And most of the guys I was talking to were all getting out at 101, 102. And I was lucky I got out a little higher. But it was a good trade. Problem is the stock's trading off this morning. They did deliver a strong beat, 52 cents. But it was a win because it did hit the high. You just got to be able to execute in the aftermarkets in order to take advantage of these price movements.
Looks like good picks all around. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.